Learn how to retrieve a server response as a structured XML DOM object using the ResponseXML property. In this lesson, we want to look at the ResponseXML property. Why the response text property handle a giant wall of plain text? The ResponseXML property does something much smarter. So when the server send back data in an XML format, which usually look like an HTML with custom tag, the browser treats it like a structure map, and the ResponseXML activates a built-in XML parser that reads this data and build a mini DOM tree out of it. So this allows you to use familiar command with whatever is returned, like searching for tag or looping through item to precisely pluck out the exact data you want to display on your page. And in this example, we are going to be looking at how you can use that looping through item in your element. So we are going to need one more extra file, which is this cd_catalog.xml. I've added it in the root folder of my project. So let's get started. Let's move into the script tag, and inside the script tag, the first thing we want to do inside the script tag is we want to add a variable. But before that, let's go ahead and add a variable. So let's call this variable btn and do document.getElement by ID btn. But in my HTML, I don't have any elements with this, so I'll come here in the HTML section and add a button. Give it an ID of btn and a text. Click me. So this is the button. So I'm actually referring to this button ID in my script tag. So now that I have this done, then I can now add an event listener to this particular button so that when it is clicked, it can respond. And so what kind of event is it listening for? It's listening for a clicked event. And once it gets it, then it should run a function. And so inside this function, let's add our XHTTP variable, which we call our new XML request object. So once this has been done, so XHTTP.onload property equals to another function. And inside this new function, we want to check to ensure that our request succeeds. So we make use of at least conditional statement and do if this dot status equals 200, that is the web standard for a success request, then what should happen? Then let's say const xml dot should be equals to this dot response text or response XML, because we are using we are working with XML and not text, so that was a mistake. It's actually response XML. Now, once we have this, we can now check if our XML doc was successfully passed. And how do we do that? Well, we're going to need another condition, which is another if statement inside the one that we currently have. So just come down and run another if statement. And inside this if statement, just check if not XML doc. That is, if it is not successfully passed, then what should happen? Then give us a console error, console.error. What should the error be? Well, let's say XML passing failed. And then document is null. Then the function should stop or the check should end. And that's the purpose of the return. So if we have this, then we can just come down again and add another variable. Call it anything, but let me just call it X and say, okay, XML dot get element by tag name, get elements by tag name. And what is that tag name? Let me pass in artist as the tag name that I want to get to the XML doc. And let me make an empty variable. Let text equals to this. And now that we have that, now let's now look over what we have. I less than x dot length. I plus plus. And it is now time for us to save check to verify node as child nodes. So let's use another conditional statement, which is if statement. That is, if X using the bracket notation to check the index position of the node dot child node dot length is greater than 0. That is, if it actually has child, then what should happen? Then add our text alongside with the child. And where that child is found, the index position, child node 0 dot node value, and then add a break. So once you have this, then you can just come down and do document.get element by id demo dot inner html equals to text. So now that we have this, let's quickly add our open method. And inside that open method, let's pass in our HTTP verb and the location of our file cd catalog.xml. Because in the root is in the root folder, then I'll add a forward slash. We can just force the browser to treat our incoming file as an XML document. So let's use our if conditional statement to say if our HTTP overrides mean time and do else HTTP dot overrides mean time text slash XML. So if you go ahead and do click me, let's inspect. Click me is not going to do anything. And that is because we have nothing inside our CD catalog. So let's quickly add something inside here. So this is how you make an XML file. So you first add a version. Let me do equals to 1.0. Once you have it, and I'll add an encoding type, which is going to be UTF-8. And now you can close it. And let me open the catalog. And for this catalog, let me also close it. So now that I've done this, then I can move down here and add a CD. Also close CD. Then inside the CD, then let there be a title. And call it, anything. Then close your title. Add your artist. I say Bob Dylan. Then also close your artist. You can add company or any other thing that you want. Then also close company as well. So if I go ahead and click on this, button is not clicking and it's actually not giving me any error. So let me go and check what could be the problem in my code. And then send our X http.send. Share. So I got it finally. So this is it. Now, if we have more of this here, I can just copy and paste. Copy and paste. And once I click, then you should see but there. So let's say I have another artist that is maybe I have another artist called Bonnie Tyler, and I have another one like Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton. Now, once I click on this button, then it will fetch all of them. Now, if I want to get maybe their title, I want to get the company, I just simply need to come inside my tag name here and then change it to what I want to get. So I want to get company. Click me, you can see Colombia. So this makes it very much smarter in order to be able to get the exact thing that we want by plugging the exact data that we want to display on our page. And as soon as the page load, our Ajax request automatically fetches this our file. And now once we click the button, it just display the content of that file to us. So this is how you can use the response XML property in order to extract the exact data that you want from what is being returned from the server.